Oh, hello, Ambitchious. I love seeing all my HBICs up in this pace. What up, Holmes? Woohoo! I feel like we should be playing like the Venga bus is coming and everybody's jumping. Do you guys remember that song, or is it just me? I was born in 81, so that's like my jam. That is my jam. Teresa's giving me the thumbs up, of course. Of course she is. All right, guys. So make sure, number one, that we're all muted. There are going to be times where I'm going to have you guys come through, but right now I am like going to go on a tear. I'm going to go on a tear. Kim Fox, our soul sister and my online business manager, is going to also be DJing the ones and the twos on tonight's call. I think we have like 55 or 60 ladies from all across the country that have RSVP'd to this incredible event. And like I said, it's going to be tonight, next Wednesday, and the following Wednesday. And then by that time, it's going to be the end of 2021. So we better get our shit together before then, or someone's going to get the taste slapped out their mouths, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. So Kim's going to be letting people in. And what I always like to first do, so if you're new here, you've never done a virtual education, mentoring, coaching, guidance session with me, welcome. Oh, Kim's like, make me a host. Sorry, Kim. I'm a bad friend. Hold on. Let me make you a host. Done. You are there. You are the host. You're the hostess with the mostest. Feel free, guys, as you come on in the chat, just type up, like say hi to everybody. Tell us where you're coming from, where you are right now, all across the globe, all across the country. There's so many women from all across the globe that are part of the Ambitchious movement. And I always love to hook other people up with other Ambitchious from all across the globe. So in the chat, just say like, hey, where you're from, what state you're from, what city you're from, what zip code you're from, wherever you're from, just let us know. This is so exciting. Okay. So what I first want to start with is I want to call in our power posse. So anytime that I do work like this, I always call in our guides and our guardians and our spirit guides. So that's the first thing that I always do anytime that we're doing any kind of work together. It's so great to see this chat. People are from everywhere, all over the country. It makes my eyes fill up with tears because I've worked so hard for so many years to create this community, and to see this happening, it just fills up my heart. Really, really does. So keep typing in the chat where you're from. Unless you're driving, don't do that. That's dangerous. Okay. So let's call in our power posse first. So let's everybody just stop for 1 second.
unless you're driving, and let's just go ahead and close our eyes. And let's close our eyes and let's sync up our breath. Let's sync up our breath all together as a whole. So we're going from being sovereign to being collective, okay? When women come together in a collective energy, the amount of energy that we create is so exponential that we can literally move mountains. We can literally move mountains. And you know that I love baby Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt. You know, I'm spiritual, but I'm also Catholic. And it says in the Bible, and obviously, you know, I love to butcher the Bible, but it says like, if two or more people ask in anything in my name, it shall be granted. And this is what this is all about. It's women coming together from all across the globe to mistress mind. That's what we call it. We call this mistress minding. And when we put all of our collective energy together, the things that we can achieve are so insane. I'm just going to warn you how freaking incredible this is going to be. Okay, so let's close our eyes and let's just sit really still, unless you're driving. But if you're sitting, if you're home, and you could do this, let's just close our eyes and let's just sync up our breath together across space and time. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath with our eyes closed, taking a nice deep breath in through our noses, filling up our lungs right to the tippity top. Holding it there for 1 second and then just releasing it all out. Inhaling in through our noses once more, big deep breath, filling up your lungs to the base of your belly. Holding it there and then releasing it all the way out. Last one, biggest, deepest breath of the day. Just singing that collective breath together, inhaling in through our noses, filling up our lungs. Exhaling all the way out. And I'm just going to call in our power posse today. So go ahead and bring your hands to heart center into prayer posture, and let's take just some nice deep cleansing breaths while I just call in our power posse. God, Goddess, universal life force energy, all of our guardians and our guides and our loved ones who are no longer here on this three-dimensional earth plane, and all of our ancestors who have come before us, who have paid it forward so that we may live the life that we live now ambitiously. Fill us up. Fill up your vessels with your light and your love and your ancient wisdom. Help each and every one of us here reach our most outlandish goals, to fulfill our most amazing dreams, to co-create with all of the HBICs through space and time across the globe. I thank you in advance, and so it is. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Yes, how'd that feel? So good, so freaking good. In the chat, let me know if the Holy Spirit just filled you up. Little sweet baby Jesus, 7 pounds, 8 ounces in his golden fleece diapers. If he came through you, if your ancestors are here, if you feel the Holy Spirit working through you, if you feel your guardians and your guides and your angels, just give me a hell yes over in the chat. Give me a hell to the mofo yes. Queens. Okay. All right. I'm so pumped for this. So this is going to be hardcore. This is going to be hardcore. So a lot of you who have done work like this with me before, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, but I am going to really push you. I'm going to push you to your absolute ambitious limits over the next 3 weeks. Like, this is a masterclass like no other. And I am just so grateful and so blessed that you're all here tonight. And it is going to be an absolutely amazing experience. Okay. So the first things that I want you guys to do is I want you to be open. I want your minds to be open, and I want your hearts to be open, because some of the things that I'm going to say to you tonight, you're not going to like. Some of the things I'm going to say to you over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be like, this bitch is fucking with me. Yes, I am fucking with you. Yes, I am pushing you. Yes, I am trying to guide you and mentor you and make you think outside the box. Because so many of the things that you have been taught throughout your life is faulty, and it's limiting self-beliefs, and it's not enoughness, and it's unworthiness. And we don't play those motherfucking games in ambitious land. Because if you truly believe that there is a higher power, no matter what you believe, and you believe that you are made in the likeness of that higher power, God, the universe, Allah, Buddha, whomever you believe in, when they were creating you and they were creating the universe, they weren't like, I want that Christine Morse to live a motherfucking mediocre life. Oh yeah. That Mary Baker, everyone else is going to be better than her, but she's an unworthy bitch and she doesn't deserve anything. Oh yeah. That's Stephanie Novacek. She doesn't deserve shit. Everyone else is going to get more than her. They're going to achieve more than her. They're going to be able to experience more than her. So I want all these people here to be mediocre motherfuckers. And then everyone else over here can be living their best life. No. What kind of fucking creator would do that to us? Zero. But because we have been raised by humans that have had limited self-belief and unworthiness and trauma and faulty programming, we just think that it is what it is. How many of you motherfuckers right now have heard this in your life? It just is what it is. It is what it is. Raise your hand if you've ever heard this before. It is what it is. Just take what you can get. Who has heard that before? Right? Like, just be happy with what you get. Who's heard that before? Absolutely. And guess what? That is the verbiage of people who have been brainwashed by the system and who are living in the matrix and who are living in three-dimensional reality thinking. God and goddess and creator, they don't live in the third dimension. The third dimension is a place for us to have our little meat puppets to do our work. But don't you understand that if you just free your mind from this, you can live in these higher dimensions of reality? And it's so easy. It's just a shift in perception. And I'm going to teach you all how to do it. Okay. You guys fucking ready? Because I'm fucking ready. I'm ready to start singing DMX and start fucking biting people's faces. I'm just ready to okay. Danielle's saying you get what you get and you don't get upset. Oh yeah, I know that one. It's all bullshit. And you know what? The people that are saying this to you, God bless them, love them, for they know not what they do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Right? If you're here right now, you're a light worker. You chose to come to this fucking earth at this fucked up time to live your purpose and to help other ambitchious all over the globe to wake up and to live their purposei, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Octopus, octopussy, you know what I'm saying? Octopi, to live their purposes too, right? That is the biggest thing that I'm going to teach you over the next 3 weeks. Yes, we're going to make fucking dope vision boards. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's going to be amazing. You're going to put it in your office. You're going to touch your mouse. You're going to double click your mouse when you look at it when you're at work. Okay. It's going to be delicious. But at the end of the day, if you can put the best shit on your vision board, but if you don't know what your purpose is here on earth, it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. Okay. So what is a vision board? What really is a vision board? Simply put, all it is a physical collection. Okay. It's a physical collection of items such as pictures, magazine clippings, words, quotes, whatever visually stimulates you to affirm your goals, your dreams, and aspirations. That's all it is. And I think that so many people out there try to overcomplicate what a vision board actually is. And it's not that complicated. It's really not that complicated. So a little story about my vision board. So about 12 years ago, I remember I was watching like Oprah when Oprah still like had a show. Remember when Oprah actually like had a show? Some of you youngins on here are way too young to know what the fuck is going on. But the oldies like me are like, yes, queen, Oprah was our queen. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That bitch was there giving us all the tea, right? She was spilling the tea. And at the last years of Oprah's being on primetime television, and as you guys know, she started her own network, OWN, right? Is she would always do vision boards. And I just thought it was the coolest fucking shit ever. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You can make like a poster board with all the things that you want and you can achieve it. And I was like, this is just too good to be true. Yes, it was too good to be true, because I made a vision board and I did it from a completely extrinsic need, an extrinsic material value, and I didn't achieve anything. But when I started with my teachers and my spiritual guides and my mentors and all the people that I worked with, when I really got serious about leveling up through my spiritual awakening, when I created my vision board, I learned to do it from a place of purpose. And that's when everything took off from there. So really short story, I'm not going to bore you, but the first vision board that I ever did that was really done the proper way was in 2010. And I don't have it here. It's actually at my studio, but next week I'm going to get it from my studio. I'm actually going to show you, because I don't want you all to think I'm bullshitting you. I want to like show you like this is real. The house that was on my vision board 10 years ago is literally the house that I'm living in now. Every eave, every peak, the color, like everything. The outdoors. So you guys follow me right on Instagram and you're on the app and stuff. And you see like I'm always posting like what we're doing, these huge yard projects that we're doing. All of that was on my vision board. I even, oddly enough, I put Dr. Oz on my vision board. Like, this is so fucking random. Like, I'm like, oh, I love Dr. Oz. He's so cute. He's like a little sprite. And everyone was like, why? Like, even my husband was like, what the fuck do you have Dr. Oz on your vision board? Do you have like a hard on for like small men? And I was like, oh, no, I don't think so. But you never know. I can be a little kinky. But I put Dr. Oz on my vision board. And it was the craziest thing. I put Dr. Oz on my vision board. And not even 2 weeks later, swear to God in my grandmother's soul, you can fact check this for all y'all fact checkers out there. 2 weeks after, Dr. Oz's people called me and they were like, we want you on the Dr. Oz show. Like, you guys have seen my curvy girl workout on the Dr. Oz show. If you haven't, you can just Google it on Dr. Oz or on YouTube or whatever. And it was like that quick. So I go on Dr. Oz, I'm like living my best life. I'm like in Dr. Oz's meditation lair at his studios at Rockefeller Center. He and I are like BFFs, right? That next day I came home and I was celebrating with a bunch of my friends, because I was like, damn, like how many like girls from Taunton, and if you guys don't know what Taunton is, we could talk about that at a separate time at a separate place. But how many girls from Taunton have a reality television show that's syndicated all over the world? It gets to be on Dr. Oz. Like, how fucking badass is that, right? So I was like, I'm fucking celebrating, because this, you know, the way I was raised was like, oh, when is the other shoe going to drop? This could be like a once in a lifetime experience, and then everything will be taken away from me, right? The rug will be pulled. Who's ever heard this, right? Like, don't wait for the other shoe to drop, because the rug might be pulled from underneath you, right? We've all heard this. So that night, the day after I got home from New York, I went out and I went to the doctor. After doing the Dr. Oz show, I went out with a bunch of my girlfriends. As I'm at dinner, and I'm with my stepdaughter, Karina, who was way younger at the time. And we're all having drinks. We're just like having a good time. And Karina says to me, Katie, if you put Dr. Oz on your vision board, why don't you put Oprah? Like if it worked with Dr. Oz, like it can work with O Money, right? And I'm like, you know what? That's a really good idea. I'm going to do that tomorrow. As my stepdaughter is saying this to me, I get a text from this woman. Her name is Mackenzie. She was Miss DC USA that year. Okay. She was Miss District of Columbia USA that year. And she texted me and she was like, girl, are you sitting down? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just having dinner with some of my friends. Like, I was just on Dr. Oz yesterday, blah, blah, blah. She's like, did you know that Oprah quoted you in OWN magazine this month? And I was like, excuse me, say what? Sphincter says what? And she was like, yeah, I'm sending you a copy. Now, mind you, I'm a sick fuck. So I went right to like CVS right after, and I bought like every copy of OWN magazine after. And Oprah actually took a quote that I said on my show and quoted me in her own magazine. Out of the blue, I had never met Oprah in my life. It happened that quickly. And the reason why it happened that quickly, and we're going to get really deep into this during our next 3 weeks together, is I was at that moment. I was vibrating at the vibrational frequency of Oprah. I was vibrating at the vibrational frequency of Dr. Oz. I was vibrating at the vibrational frequency of multi-million-dollar revenue. I was vibrating at the frequency of having a internationally syndicated television show. Okay. So y'all can put whatever the fuck you want on your vision boards, but unless you are vibrating at the right vibrational frequency that literally matches the exact frequency of what you're trying to attract, you will never reach that thing. And I'm here to tell you, if it's been done before by anyone in the world, it can be done again, and it can be done by you. Are you listening to the words that are coming out of this bitch's mouth? If it has been done before, it can be done again, and it can be done by you, and it can be done fucking better. And don't let anything or anyone tell you any differently, because I came from fucking nothing. Zero, zilch, and nada. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I did not have any connections to anyone that was better than me, higher than me, etc. But I made it to where I am now. I'm a multi-7-figure earner. I have the relationship with my husband that I've always dreamt of since I was a little girl. I have friendships that are so fucking fulfilling. My job, my career, I don't even like to call it a job or career, because it's literally like I get to hang out with my fucking friends and get paid for it. I have the home of my dream. I have all the 3-dimensional material shit that I've ever wanted in my life, but could never have. I have amazing boundaries. My spiritual, my non-negotiable spiritual practices are on point. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am happy. And I am fucking creating a movement. I'm creating a legacy of HBICs from all over the world. And it's only because I understand how the vibrational frequency of the earth and our universe work. And if you guys have ever watched that, or watched or read or listened to or whatever, the book, The Secret, how many of you guys have ever done that? The Secret, right? Can anyone here tell me what the problem with The Secret is? I'd love to know. Just tell me in the chat what you think is the problem with The Secret. I want to know, because I know what it is. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to make it so that none of you guys make this mistake. Sorry, I'm a little parched from my preaching. What is the problem with The Secret? Tell me. It leaves out the key. Exactly, Kathleen. And the key is, you can't sit on your fucking ass with your finger up your bum hole and be like, oh, I'm going to have a Maserati and a $7 million mansion and a healthy, perfect body and the man of my dreams. Oh, man. No, that's not how it fucking works. Like Britney Spears says, Britney Spears is the key to The Secret. Okay. Britney Spears, free Britney. Thank you, Jesus. Britney Spears was the key to The Secret. Because you know what she says? You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You got to work, bitch. You got to work, and you got to give value, and you have to serve, and you have to show up with purpose. Purpose. And that is what it's all about. Okay. So that's my story with my little vision board story. Since then, I've had numerous vision boards. All have come true. All have actually surpassed what I've ever dreamt of. Because that's the thing, is when you show up, and you show up in purpose, and you show up to do God's work, whatever that is for each and every one of you here, because for each and every one of you here, it's a different purpose. You can't not have what you desire. So if you don't have right now at this very moment what you desire, you're not doing the things that it takes to create the energetic vibrational frequency that attracts the things that you desire. Now, before we get started, I want you guys all to pinky swear with me. So everybody hold your fingers up, and I want you to pinky swear. Okay. We're going to air pinky swear right now. We are never going to use the word need ever again. And if you use the word need, you have to say, I'm going to use the N word because it's the only word that I can use in this sentence to make sense. Because when you're creating, okay, we all pinky swore. When you're creating and you're curating the life of your dreams, what I call an ambitious life, okay? It has to come from a place of desire. Did you know that the word desire, the word DE, okay, the Latin word for DE is of the Father. Of the Father. So when you say divine, desire, okay, these words mean that you are connected to a higher power. So do you want to be manifesting and creating from a place of divine connection, or do you want to be manifesting and creating from a place of three-dimensional, mediocre bullshit? I say, let's manifest with the universe. Let's manifest with divine connection. Let's manifest with of the Father or of Goddess, whatever you believe in. Okay. Because really, at the end of the day, no matter what you believe, it all says the same shit. Show up, give value, live in your purpose, and don't be a fucking dick. That's it. That's all. It's really that easy. I swear to God. Okay. So why is visualization? Why is visualization so powerful? So that's why we call it a vision board. I also like to call it a vibration board. Because remember, whatever you put on your vision board or your vibration board, you have to vibrate at that energy, right? To achieve those goals. So visualization is really not about simply placing an image, right? Placing an image on this cork board or this poster board or whatever. It's about manifesting through the law of attraction, right? Ellen likes to vibrate. I like to vibrate as well. We all like to vibrate. When you create your vision board, you're going to put it in a place where you see it every day. So think of something right now, a place where you go every day and spend time. Like, so for me, my vision board's always in my office. It's in a place where it may not be like dead in my face, but every time I'm looking at the computer or I'm doing work in my office, it's in my eye line. Okay. And really the visualization and the I actually think the vibration is actually even more important than the visualization. And I think that through the vibration, we have to actually start acting like the person who has already achieved these things. I was watching some random shit, I don't even know what, the other day, and it was about President Reagan. And this guy was being interviewed about President Reagan, and they were saying, like, this guy was so fucking weird. He would like say he wanted to do something, and then he would start like acting like the person he wanted to be before he was the person. So like before he became the governor of California, he started acting like the governor of California. Before he became the president of the United States, he started acting as if he was the president of the United States. So what if you just said, fuck it, I'm going to act like the person who has $1 million liquid cash in her bank account. I'm going to act like the person who has the perfect, most fulfilling, romantic, loving marriage. Or I'm going to act like the person who is so healthy that they're entering a fitness or figure competition. Like, I don't know what that is for you. I'm just throwing out like random stuff, but we have to act like we already are that person. Right, Teresa? Teresa's saying it's just like dress for the job you want, not the one you have. And now I'm not saying like go out there and buy, a Chanel 5mm bag, $8,800, and buy the Christian Louboutins and buy the Versace I'm not saying any of that shit. It doesn't matter how much money your things cost. It matters the vibration that you bring into a room when you step into that room. If you've ever been around me in a room, and I can see like a lot of faces looking back at me right now of people who have been in my presence before. When I walk into a room, do I command a presence? Right? And it's not like, I'm not trying to be intimidating. I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, everybody look at me, I'm so important. I just know that I have a very limited amount of time on this earth, and I'm going to show up as the person that I desire to be, regardless of what everyone else around me is doing. Okay. So if you want to be the #1 house flipper in the entire country, show up like that person. If you want to be the #1 speaker, motivational speaker in the world, show up like that person. Show up on your social media like that person. Send out your emails like you're that person. If you're at fucking Walmart, I don't give a shit if you have to give a motivational speech to the person that's checking your shit out. Ask anybody. Like my husband will be like, can we just go anywhere without you having to like give a fucking motivational dissertation? And I'm like, no, we actually can't, because if I feel the Lord working through me, I'm going to say what I need to say. Okay. He just knows. He's like, oh, here we go. Katie's doing her thing. I'm going to go pull my putt in the corner for like 10 minutes. You know, like Matt just knows. He just knows. Right. Oh my God, Teresa, you've commanded the room since Sicily in 1946. You know it, honey. This golden girl shows up every day, day after day. You know it. So you have to show up in the vibrational frequency of the person you're trying to be, right? Now, action. Like I said before, the reason why The Secret was great but not amazing was because they told you to like sit in a room and think about all these things that you want. And it's like, you got to go out there and give value and entertainment and empowerment and inspiration. And you have to live in your purpose. You have to live in your purpose. If you're not living in your purpose, who the fuck cares what you're doing? And so many people put on their vision board all this extrinsic material 3-dimensional things that literally don't matter. And I remember Denzel Washington once was giving a speech at a college, and he says, have you ever seen a moving truck following a hearse? Have you ever seen a moving truck following a hearse? No, bitch, because you know what? When you fucking die, that's it. All that 3-dimensional shit, it don't matter. But you know what matters? The way that you touched people's lives, the way that you gave value, the way that you empowered people, you expanded them. You help them reach their dreams. That's why, like, no matter what happens to me, I know that I have touched tens of thousands of women over the history of my business. And that for me is like just payment enough over all the other things. The other things, the material things, they're just icing on the cake and little fun things that we can kind of fuck around with before we shuffle off this mortal coil, right? Okay. So the way that we're going to set up our vision board, and if you have not bought Ambitchious the book, get on over there. They're on sale right now for $19.99 a copy. But if you haven't already got Ambitchious the books, you might not be super familiar with what I'm going to say. Some of you have probably listened to the podcast, so some of you are familiar, but the way you're going to set up your board is you're going to set your board up with you in the middle. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is one of my vision boards right here. I'm in the middle, right? I'm the world. I'm the next big thing. I'm the big picture. This is me. Okay. This is a vision board that I started doing last year, and then I'm OCD and I didn't like it. So I had to just throw it away. Cause you know me, I'm a psychopath. I know, but I want to show you what I did last year. So 2021, so you can put 2022. Last year, my whole theme was like the year with no goals, which pretty much that's what last year was for everybody, right? But how I broke it up it's with the 6 life makers and breakers. Y'all know what the 6 life makers and breakers and Ambitchious are, right? So we got your non-negotiable spiritual practices in one area. You got your wellness and your health in another area. You have your environment in another area. You have your wealth and abundance in another area. Your boundaries and your feelings and emotions in another area, and your relationships in another area. So your vision board or your vibration board is going to be you in the middle, because you're the most important thing. And then you're going to break your vision board up into 6 separate little areas. And that's where you're going to put all of your, like, what you desire for your spiritual practices, what you desire your boundaries and your emotions to look like, what you want your relationships to look like, what you want your health and wellness and your physical body to look like, etc. Okay. Kim says, Lord, it's already been a year. I know, it's really crazy. So obviously in Ambitchious, the book, it breaks the whole thing down. But like I said, the 6 life makers and breakers are non-negotiable spiritual practices, right? Your feelings, emotions, and fierce boundaries, your health, nutrition, and your overall wellness, your relationships, your environment, and your wealth, abundance, and money mindset, right? And those are all the things that I always talk about in Ambitchious anytime I speak. I'm never going to talk about anything else. That's what I talk about. I'm not going to talk about anything else, promise you, okay? So that's how we're going to break up our board. Now, we're not going to do any work on our board today because we have to lay the foundation first. And that's why I'm going to give you a whole entire week to start laying that foundation. And then we're going to get deeper into that. And then the last Wednesday, so the third Wednesday of our meetings, that's when we're really going to put our vision boards together, right? Really quick, a little disclaimer. I have been doing vision boarding with people for, oh God, over a decade. And I always tell people, really think about when you're creating your vision board, what you truly desire. And I want it to come from a place of intrinsic purpose and not extrinsic purpose. Like, yeah, you can throw a Gucci bag up there or whatever. You can throw a Louis Vuitton up there if you want. I mean, you want to put a Range Rover up there, grand. I don't care. I've done it and it's great and it's fun. When you get that Range Rover, when you get that Maserati, when you get that thing, it's like, yes, I made it. But I really desire for you to come from a place of intrinsic purpose. And we're going to talk a little bit deeper about that. So I'll give you a little funny story. So about 10 years ago, when I started teaching vision boarding, I had this girl who was a really good friend of mine, and she was just fucking hot shit. And she would always be like, oh my God, there's like no good guys in the world. Everyone sucks. They're all like needle dick bug fuckers. You know, they have like, no, they're not chivalrous. They have like baby mama drama. Like there's always just some bullshit. Right. And I'm like, that's not true. There's a lot of really good guys out there. You just have to vibrate at the frequency to attract these people. And she was just like, you're smoking crack. I'm like, whatever. So I had a vision boarding event at my studio, and she had her vision board, and she, in her like little relationships category, she, God, this is awful, but she cut out this like family. And it was like this really hot dude and this like hot girl and like 2 kids and like a dog, like a fucking golden retriever, like a really slobbery golden retriever. And I was like, Nikki, why are you putting that fucking shit on your vision board? She's like, I don't know. I just was like, this guy's hot. Like, and like, I like this little family. And I was like, Nikki, you don't want kids and you hate dogs. Why would you put kids and a dog on your damn vision board? And she's like, I don't know. I just like it. And I'm like, girl. And in my head, I'm like, you know, I don't know Nikki's life contract. And I'm not going to get in the way of what God wants for her life contract. So I'm just going to let Nikki do whatever the fuck she wants, because I've already told her like, this is not sitting well with me. Okay. So the bitch puts this goddamn thing on her vision board. Okay. I'm not super good friends with Nikki, so I probably talk to her like twice a year. So a year later, I was doing a vision board thing, and she inboxed me. This was when I had Facebook, and she inboxed me. She was like, you fucking bitch, you screwed me. And I was like, what did I do? I'm like, I'm just trying to help a sister out. She's like, well, I got married, and this guy has 2 fucking kids, baby mama drama. And guess what? He has a fucking blind 32-year-old, one leg hanging, one ball sack, golden retriever. And I'm like, bitch, I warned you. So the reason why I'm telling you this fucked up story, it's obviously to make you laugh, because we have to laugh right now, but it's also to tell you, be very mindful of what you put on your vision board, because whatever goes up there is going to happen. So if you don't want dogs and you don't want kids and you don't want this shit, don't put that shit up there. Be very, very, very mindful of what you put on your vision board, because guess what? Y'all are powerful bitches and it will probably come true. Okay. Okay. Moving on. All right. Here's the deal. The first purpose, the first part of what we're doing is to create purpose and to choose purpose over your goals. Okay. So take this note. This is very important, to choose and put your purpose in front of your goals. So if you focus only on achieving short-term goals, you will never find your true passion or learn how to find your purpose. The goals you work toward must always be based on finding your purpose. If they're not, you'll only feel a fleeting sense of accomplishment, and you'll soon be seeking something more, and you won't be able to see that life is happening for you instead of to you. So I remember years ago when I first started doing vision boarding, I put a black Range Rover Sport because I was working in Wellesley, Massachusetts at the time. I was like 24 years old, and all the women that I coached, they were all like 10 to 15 years older than me. They were super fucking wealthy, and they all had like the fucking hottest cars. And I had like my little like shit box that I would drive around, and I'd be like, hi guys, I'm here to train you. What's up? And I remember in my head, I'm like, if I get a Range Rover Sport, like that means I made it, and I can like roll with these bitches, right? Even though, like, not to be a total douche, but you know I am. A lot of these women didn't work, and a lot of their shit was bought by their husbands that were banging their secretaries, but that's a whole different story for a different day. So I was trying to compete with shit that was like way out of my fucking league, but I didn't know any better at the time. Okay. So I'm just throwing that out there. And I remember I finally made enough money to buy a Range Rover. And I remember getting this Range Rover and being like, oh my God, like I'm so special. I have this fucking Range Rover. And I remember like for 2 days, every morning I'd get up and I would like look out the window and I'd be like, hey girl, how you doing? Like I would like look out my window like, yeah, I'm going to get in you later. I'm going to ride you around. I'm going to take you shopping. I'm going to take you to Whole Foods. We're going to buy expensive shit, right? That we can't afford. And that happened for like 2 days. And then after like 2 days, I was like, oh, I'm still a miserable motherfucking bitch. Like this Range Rover only got me wet for like 2 days. And now I'm fucked. I'm back to square one. And I realized then I was seeking this extrinsic material outward shit instead of my purpose. And then I started realizing my purpose is to help awaken as many women across the globe to live this ambitious lifestyle and to be the HBICs of their lives, right? It wasn't to buy a Range Rover. It wasn't to have Christian Louboutins. It wasn't to have Jimmy Choo's and Gucci bags and special, you know, jewelry and go on like these crazy vacations. All that is nice, but it's not part of your purpose. It's something you get as part of what you do. Because I always tell people, don't worry about what you can get, worry about what you can give. Because if you overly give and you show up and you serve and you give value, you can't not be rich. That's the damn truth. Okay. So when you set a goal, and we're going to set lots of goals over the next 3 weeks, when you set a goal, you have to ask yourself, how will this help me feel more fulfilled? How does this goal relate back to my purpose? So number one is, how will this help me feel more fulfilled? And number two is, how does this relate back to my purpose? And the third question is, how does this help other people? How does this purpose help other people? How does this goal help other people? Okay. So now we're going to turn the tables. And at any time that I'm talking, I'm going too fast or I'm saying something that you need to clarify, like feel free to just ask me in the chat and I'm more than happy to do that. So the next thing is, what are your goals? So I want you right now, I want you in the chat, I want you to list like your goals. What are your goals? They can have anything to do with the 6 life makers and breakers. Okay. What are your biggest dreams? What are your loftiest aspirations? What are your biggest goals? Like, I want to know, because when you fucking say it out loud, especially when you're mistress minding with a bunch of HBICs and you have your power posse backing you up, you are in a place of creation. Okay. You are in a place of God. So what are your loftiest dreams, goals, aspirations? I want to know them. I want to know them. Because I really want to talk deeply about this. And then I want to talk about what's actually holding you back from actually achieving these goals. Because like I said before, if it's been done before, it can be done again. It can be done better. So what are your goals? Come on. Stop dragging your tits. Let's go. Chop, chop, put it in the chat. Chop, chop, put it in the chat. I'm like overheated right now. I should probably take my beanie off, but whatever. It's fashion. I'm in my pajamas, by the way. Don't get anyone get too turned on. Okay. Come on. Show me those goals. Where are they? Tell me your goals. Show me your goals. Put it in the chat. Okay. Jeannie is saying, I love this. To become financially independent. Okay, that's not enough. I want a number. Give me a number. What would make you financially independent? What amount of money? Give me a number. Give me a number. Kathleen is saying to launch my book, to start a new business that helps others learn common law, health, and yoga. Love this. Love this. Stacy's saying to become more sovereign from the matrix. Girl, same. And get more self-sufficient. Amen. Hallelujah. Love it. Love this. Love this. Shannon's saying goals are continuing to focus on reducing my inflammation. Amazing goal. Take care of my temple and become lean. I love it. Organized and decluttered. Fabulous. Find my purpose. I believe in my job has been my purpose, but there is more. Well, I agree with you. And your job is dope, but there's even a deeper purpose. And I know that. Jacinta. Hola, querida. So Jacinta is saying be able to bike and hike. We can do that, girl. We got to get rid of the inflammation. Because if you can't move your body in a place where you want to bike and hike and be able to do these things, it's nothing more than inflammation. Swear to God on little baby Jesus, swear, mean it. I mean it. Olivia's saying, read one book a week. Oh, girl. Okay. So I did read one book a week 3 years ago, and I read one book a week. I read 52 books. And my only thing was the book had to be over 200. It could not be over 250 pages. That was my little, because anything, if you're like, oh, I'm going to read War and Peace, like that could take you a whole year. Right. But, you know, knowledge is potential power. So the more knowledge you have, the more potential power you yield. But remember, sometimes too much education and not enough execution is BAD too. So we got to watch that. So you can educate yourself, but you got to execute on the things that you learn as well when you're reading those books, correct? Ellen saying freedom to do whatever I want, when I want. I want to know what you want to do, Ellen. I want more, deeper. What do you want to do? What does that mean? Do you want to go to the strip club Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to eat chocolate cake morning, noon, and night? Like, I want to know, like, specific. Christine saying, I want to write my own romance novel and I want to bring confidence to women in their own bodies in the bedroom and make them feel special. I fucking love this. Okay, can I stop you guys real quick? Let's stop saying I want and let's start saying I desire. My desire is, sorry, I should have said that before everyone started getting haywire. So Christine is, her desire is to write her own romance novel and to bring confidence to women in their own bodies in the bedroom and make them feel special. Christine, we have to talk because you should come on and like do some, I don't know what you do, but like it sounds sexual. And I think we all need some sexual, I was going to say some sexual chocolate, but what I meant to say was we need somebody to tell us what's up in the bedroom. Not all of us are freaks other than Ellen Alger, but like she's in her own world. We're not going to get in there right now. I love this. All right. Shannon's saying to be free, to serve people, to be my own boss, and to help others more deeply. I love this. Jacinta saying get healthier and thin in order to be able to hike and bike. I love it. Olivia is saying to make genuine connections. And that's why I created this protocol. That's why I created our app. That's why I created our community, because it's so hard for awakened women right now to make real connections with other women. You know, and everyone here is awakened in some way, shape, or form. So it's a hell of a lot easier to be like, yeah, I want this bitch to be my friend, instead of like going to a party and being like, okay, who is fucking asleep? Who is a zombie? And who is awake? That's really hard, guys. Believe me. That's why I have a very small circle of friends, and everyone is, some of us are too fucking woke. We're living on other dimensions. We're living on other planets. You know what I'm saying? I love that, Olivia. Thank you for saying that. Kelly saying achieve optimal health and longevity. Yes, queen. Kelly just did her Ambitchious in 28 protocol. She's kicking it. She's killing the game. Jeannie's saying $2 million to pay off my kids' college and to be able to do what I want. That sounds fucking dope. I mean, 2 mil. I like that. I like the way that sounds. Addie, what's up, girl? She says, launch my social media management company and generate 110,000 to be able to do it full time, to be able to do 5 pull-ups with no help. I love this. This is so fucking real. It's tangible. Find a new volunteering opportunity and dedicate 3 hours a week to it. That's fucking dope. That is amazing. And you know what, girl? You can do it. You 100% can do it. I have coached so many women to do the same exact thing. And they're not just making 6 figures, they're making multiple 6 figures. So you can do it. I promise you. And you're young and you've got gumption. Kate says, to be the person who I was put on this earth to be. Yes. Tell me more, Kate. I want the deets. Give me the details. We can't just be wishy-washy. We got to be like, boom. Lindsay says, I desire to have more time for my daughter by starting my own business. Well, you bitch. Fitch Seda, we've already talked about this. And I don't know if you know that, Lindsay, that Jacinta's also a Portuguese just like us. It's the Três Flesbinas here. Oh, and Joanne Scott's here somewhere too. Oh, there you are. Yes, queen. All the greenhorns unite. I love it. Shar says, help people achieve their best health through my business. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Think of this right now. If you were helping people right now, and this is such a fucking integral time for health, to help people with their health, girl, you'd be fucking making money hand over fist, and you would lay your head on the pillow every night and you'd feel like $1,000,000 fucking bucks. Believe me. When I lay my head on the pillow at night, I sleep like a rock, because I know what I'm doing is really helping people and I'm not hurting anyone in the process, right? And a lot of the jobs that we do are actually hurting people and hurting the environment in the process, but we're just like, well, it is what it is. This is what we have to do. No. You can always make a different choice. Always. Shanna says, you guys are on fire and so inspiring. Isn't this amazing? This is going to be the best 3 weeks of our lives. I'm telling you, it's only going to get better from there. Wait till you see what I have in store for all of you. Olivia says, was just about to say that. Another goal is to ACT on the knowledge I learn. Absolutely. You have to. Because everyone always says that knowledge is power, but it's not power. It's potential power. It's what you do with the knowledge that actually makes it powerful, right? Like how many bitches all across the globe have read motherfucking Ambitchious and they're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, fuck me. Judy says, I desire to help people, especially women, become more independent. So I'm talking about, Christine says, I'm in. Okay, queen, we'll have a side convo. Kim says, we need some sex. Kim, it's desire, bitch. We desire some sexual healing. God, I sound like Miss Piggy. Yes, please email me. LOL, Kim@kbmfc.com. Oh, Matt Babine's going to be so excited about this as well. Let me tell you, it's a whole situation over here in my house. It's not good. Lee says, my desire is to retire before age 65 and discover my purpose in helping people. And I desire to become a Reiki master. Honey, I know a bitch that can help you out. I'm a Reiki master teacher, girl. I'm actually a Reiki master teacher, but I'm also a multidimensional healer, which is why I'm a little bit different from just straight up Reiki. We can have a side conversation about that as well. Andrea says, goals to be optimally well, physically fit, continue on my spiritual awakening, become more involved in nature and my surroundings, desire to continue my work with animals and help spiritually heal them as well. Makes me want to cry. Love me some Andrea Birdsell. Danielle says, my desire is to own my own consulting business, provide it for my parents and family, complete my doctorate, heal my traumas, improve my physical health. Yes, queen. Love this. This is on point. Joe says, I desire to help people heal from past traumas. Absolutely. And guess what? You have a never ending well of people signing up because everybody's traumatized. Everybody. I don't care where you're from, who you are. Everybody's got trauma. Teresa says, to be able to continue my yoga practices as well as bring some of these teaching into my classroom, help moms to see who they are in their family. Yes, Teresa is absolutely an inspiration. Shar is going, yes, that's exactly what I desire. That's what I'm talking about. I desire connection, Lisa, and I desire connection with a life partner. Ooh, girl, yes. And everybody here deserves that. And guess what? Well, some of you are too young to know what this is, but there was a show it was a movie called Fievel Goes West when I was a little girl. And it was about these little mice. And do you guys remember when Fievel was looking for his family and he would like sing under the moon, like somewhere out there? There is a fucking hot piece of ass right now with a big juicy peen. He is waiting for you. He is like, where is she? Where is she? And you're just like, where is he? And it's a fucking mess. And if you guys have to start vibrating at the same frequency so you can do, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Sorry, I'm a pervert. Kim says, I mean, what if it's a need? Kim, I will let you say the N-word this one time. Kelly, I love you, Kim. Katie, me too. I desire the training. Well, I'm here for it. Kim, of course, Kim loves the dirty. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. What is holding you back from achieving those goals right now? Tell me. All the fucking shit that you just told me, all this delicious, chocolatey goodness. What is holding you back? Give me all your fucking excuses. Give me all your excuses. Give me all your bullshit. Give me all your caca-poo-poo. Give me all your limitations. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Okay. Teresa's saying nothing. I'm beginning to serve and bring it. Yes, queen. Shar saying fear, right? Fear. Christina saying time. Addie saying laziness. I love how everyone's just being real about their shit. They're like, I'm just being a lazy motherfucker. Lindsay saying fear and not knowing where to start. So I always tell people, if you're trying to start a business or you're trying to level up, find someone who's an expander. Find someone who's already done similar to what you want to do and say like, hey, can I hire you? Can you coach me? Can you tell me how to do this? It's really just fear of not asking the question, of not being able to ask that question, right? Like I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of women start their own companies and become multi-six-figure and even seven-figure earners. And like I said, I came from nothing. I don't have a fucking business degree. I'm just a smooth bitch, okay? And I've been around the block way too many times than I like to say. And everything that I learned through taking shit out of my ass like a monkey at the zoo and throwing it to the wall and seeing what sticks. Okay. There was no like pill. There was no friggin', doctorate degree. There was nothing. It was just like, what do people want? How can I give it to them the best way possible? Right. Joanne saying nothing. I am ditto with Teresa. Love it. Lee saying finances. Okay. Kathleen saying time. Andrew saying myself, but I'm working on it. I love it. Kelly saying I'm working on it. Love it. Kate saying lack of money and fear of not knowing where to start. I love it. Perfect. Self-imposed intimidation, Stacy's saying. Jacinta saying, I binge eat too much and I also had foot surgery. Girl, I tore my plantar fasciitis. I tore my whole entire plantar fascia in August and I was literally like immobile for over 6 weeks. I know all about that, girl. Sitting, crutching around with the boot and then just being depressed. And then you end up like fat bastard. And you're like, I eat because I'm fat and I'm fat because I eat. It's a vicious cycle, right? No more of that. No more of that. Teresa saying, but fear of failure or success could be both, could be either, could be or. Sometimes people say their fear of failure, their biggest fear is failing, but it's really of success because if you succeed, then what will happen? My family might not love me anymore. People might think, oh, she thinks she's better than me. She lost the weight. She started the business. She got the relationship, right? Now she thinks she's better than me. And that's really fucking hard because if you tap into the primordial parts of your brain, millions of years ago, if you got too uppity and you got thrown out of the tribe, you couldn't eat. No one would hunt for you and you were fucking shunned. And it's in the primordial reptilian parts of our brains still to be afraid of that. You want to homogenize. You want to stay part of the bigger group. But guess what? The bigger group ain't helping you go nowhere, right? Olivia saying, finding my purpose and acting on it. I like too many damn things. I bet you're a manifesting generator. I bet that's your human design. I don't know if you know your human design, Olivia, but you should check on that. Everyone here should know their human design. All you have to do is go on a human design calculator and figure out what your human design is. I bet you any money. I'll bet you freaking, I don't even know what. We can like scissor each other or something. I don't know, whatever's cool for you, Olivia. But I bet you any money that you're a manifesting generator, just like me. We're multi-passionate entrepreneurs. But if you're really living in your truth, you can do multi-passionate things and get away with it, right? Danielle says, fear of failure and fear of success, not prioritizing myself, lack of self-control and willpower. Addie saying, same with Olivia. Yeah, Olivia says, I prioritize dumb stuff, then I get overwhelmed. Right. It's easier to do the little nitpicky shit than do the big picture shit. Right. It really is. Jeannie says, love all my bitches, gotta go. Love you, Jeannie. Thanks for coming. Teresa says, Olivia, it takes time, but take the steps and you will slowly peel the onion. Absolutely. Kathleen said, I love fear. Run towards it. It's so fun. It's pulling back the illusion that fear is nothing and it's not real. So true. So true. Christine saying, I'm a generator. Kim Fox is also a generator. I love generators. Me and generators were like, we get along. We get along like peas and carrots. You know what I'm saying? Karen saying fear and financial priorities. Aubrey saying choosing everyone over myself. So my whole thing is, if you argue, listen to me right now. I want you to write this down. This is so fucking important. If you argue for your limitations, they become yours. If you argue for your limitations, they become yours. They become yours. So think about it. If you guys have ever worked with me before, if you've read Ambitchious, what is the one thing that all of us are going to do someday? DIE, right? We're all going to shit the bed. We're all going to kick the bucket. We're all going to shuffle off to Buffalo sooner or later. So what if you shuffle off to Buffalo tomorrow and you're laying in bed and the ghosts of all of the things that you could have been in your life are surrounding you, and you get to see that once before you go, or when you die and you go to wherever we go after we die. What if hell is meeting the person you could have been if only you tried, if only you weren't afraid of success, if only you weren't afraid of failure, and if only you had the people and the community and the women around you to lift you up? Because remember, you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Think of that right now. Think of that. How's that feeling for you? The people I spend the most time with, they are uplifters, they are expanders. They make me feel like anything is possible. I don't hang out with people who are naysayers. I don't hang out with people who go, you know, you might want to tone it down. That's crazy. That dream is crazy. I want people to be like, yeah, so that's fucking awesome. Go do it. Right? What if you die and hell is meeting the person you could have become if only you weren't afraid? Think about it. Would you be happy to die tomorrow? I wouldn't be, because I know I have so much more inside me. I have so much more inside me. Okay. So remember, if you argue for your limitations, they will become yours. Okay. So in the next 7 days until we see each other next Wednesday, I want you to do these things for me. I want you to take each one of the 6 life makers and breakers, you write the non-negotiable spiritual practice, et cetera, and I want you to write goals for each one of those things. Really concrete, lofty, out of the fucking box goals. Don't be pussy nanas. Don't be like, oh, that's what could have happened. I'm going to teach you how to fucking quantum leap in 2022. We are going to make 2022 our motherfucking bitch. That's what we're going to do to 2022. Because we have lost the last 2 years of our lives to bullshit, to absolute fucking malarkey. Malarkey. It ain't gonna change, children. It ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna get better. We have to make it better. We have to create and then curate the life of our dreams, because guess what? It is our reality. It's our reality. So whatever we say goes. Right? So I want you to write down real goals for each one of the 6 life makers and breakers. That's number 1. I want you to start, you know, if you're going through magazines or you're on Pinterest, or you give yourself a couple minutes a day just to kind of like go on Instagram or go on, you know, like cool websites that you like or magazines that you like or whatever. And I want you to like choose, you know, aspirational pictures, quotes, things that are like goals of yours, and start just cutting them out and put them in like a little folder. and just keep them, because we're not going to create our vision boards until the last week. So we're not going to do it next week. We're going to do it on the 3rd week of our 3-week program. Next week, I'm going to be teaching you all about the top 10 ways that you're going to create all of the goals and the life of your dreams, so that we can start taking those things, those tangible tools, and then placing them on that vision board. Okay. So in the meantime, don't worry about, any of this, anything else, but just writing down your goals. And as you see things that inspire you, that like resonate with you, or that just like motivate you or make you feel some sort of way, just take your scissors or print it out on, on your printer, cut the things out and just save them and just keep compiling them as we go. Okay. And then next week, we're going to go even deeper. We're going to go even deeper into the tools and the tricks and all the things that I teach to really start to create the life of your dreams. You guys are going to be so fucking ready for 2022. Like, you guys are going to be so far ahead of everybody else, that, because you know what everybody's doing right now? It's like that. You ever see that TikTok or that reel? It's like, what are you going to do for the rest of the year? It's like, I'm going to eat lots of bread and sweets and get all fat and sassy. No, you're not. No, you're not going to get all fat and sassy. Okay. You're not going to get all fat and sassy. This is the time to actually put your heels in the ground and be like, yo, when all these other fucking drifter motherfuckers are just like eating their weight in fudge and like, online shopping and finger popping their assholes, you are going to be 10 steps ahead of the game. Okay. In the meantime, on our app, if you guys inbox me, do y'all know how to inbox me on the app? Do you guys know how to check your inboxes on the app? So if you're on the Ambitchious app, which obviously everyone here is, or you couldn't have signed up for this, I want you guys just to use that inbox as if that is my cell phone. Okay. That is, I check it multiple times a day. If you have any questions, if you need me to go deeper into anything, if you want to have a side conversation with me, if you're like really in a place where you're just like, I really want to start this business, I want to lose this weight, I want to do these things, but I don't know where to start, fucking inbox me. Let's have a conversation. Okay. Let's have a real conversation about what that looks like and what that feels like. Okay. Now, if you feel like you've got a lot of goodness out of today, feel free to bring as many people on that you feel like could really benefit from this teaching. They can, just because they missed today, it's not a big deal. We're going to share this on the Ambitchious app, so they can always just watch this and then catch up and get on live with us next Wednesday. The best way to do that is on your social media, or you can do it in text message, whatever. Just send them the link to the Mighty Networks app that they can just go right on and join, and then get on over here and just tell them about your experience. Talk about the experience on your social media. Talk about the experience on your Twitter or your Facebook or your Instagram. If you have a podcast, if you have a group of friends, if you have people that you do book club with, I don't care what it is, but remember, Ambitchious is a movement. And I'm not getting paid for this. I literally am doing this out of the goodness of my heart, because I know how people feel right now. It's a really difficult time of the year. And I know that I'm not trying to be in a 3-dimensional reality, but this is 3-dimensional what I'm talking about. It's a hard time of year for everyone. So help lift each other up and help deposit more money into your spiritual bank by bringing more and more women onto this movement. Okay. So you have a lot to do. You have a lot to think about. I hope this was amazing for each and every one of you. I hope you feel motivated. I hope you feel inspired. I hope that you're ready to go to the next step. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This was just so fun for me. This is what I live for in life, like just showing up like this and speaking so much victory into each and every one of you. So in the meantime, you have your work cut out for you. Let's keep the conversation going over on the Ambitchious app. Inbox me on the app if you need anything, if you desire anything. Say I just used the N word. Shame on me. Bad, bad, bad. If you desire anything from Katie Boyd, inbox me on the app, and let's keep this conversation going. And I'm just so excited for what 2022 has in store for all of us. And the more that we as Ambitchious across space and time join hands and we mistress mind like this, and we create together, and we amalgamate and homogenize our energy, the more that we can achieve together. It's just a beautiful thing. So I love each and every one of you. Sweet dreams. And don't forget to stay ambitious. And I'll see you all next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you guys. Mwah. Adios.